All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We are back on schedule. It is a Monday evening. It is not, September 15th. Folks, we have some more bombshell news as it relates to Charlie Kirk's assassin. We're trying to get to the bottom of this situation. Every single hour, it seems like we are getting more and more and more little tiny tidbits of news and information. And now we can sort of piece together what exactly is going on here. So I want to say thank you all for tuning in. It seems as if Tyler Robinson, the alleged assassin of Charlie Kirk, has had several of his Discord chat messages, his chat logs from this instant messaging program called Discord, have now been leaked to the public. They're being published all over the internet. And this actually sheds a lot of light. It gives some insight into what is really going on here. And by the way, this is stuff that I would imagine Tyler Robinson himself, the alleged assassin, probably did not want us to see. So we're going to take a look at this today, folks. We're going to do our best to break all of this down. This story is literally minute by minute, but the truth has got to come out. So thank you all for being here. We are live right now, Matt Morris TV on Rumble, Matt Morris TV on YouTube. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I just want to quit the stalling and get into the show today here, folks. Take a look at this. Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson appears to have confessed to friends of his in a Discord chat server shortly before turning himself into the police, per the Washington Post. And now this story is going viral. Everybody is talking about this. He said, allegedly, and I quote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for all of you. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thank you all for the good times and the laughs. We need to know more. Who were the friends? Well, we actually kind of know maybe who were the friends. We're piecing this together. It seems like this narrative is still developing. It seems like this individual here, Tyler Robinson, was part of a far-left trans cult, a cult of violence, and that maybe all of them, everybody in the Discord server, might have known about this attack. We have already established that at least 6 individuals knew about the attack beforehand because they were posting about it all over the internet, on Twitter, on SoundCloud, on Steam, which is a video game community platform. So most certainly at least 6 people knew about it, maybe up to 20 people knew about it, because that's how many people were allegedly in this Discord server. So we're going to break this entire situation down. It is now being reported that up to 20 transgenders or LGBTQ people in this Discord group chat with Tyler Robinson might have had advanced knowledge of Charlie Kirk's upcoming assassination. Like we said on yesterday's broadcast, I just want to reiterate this. We know for a fact at least 6 people knew about this assassination at least 5 weeks in advance. Some of these people were talking about this upcoming Charlie Kirk assassination in the first week of August, which is 5 weeks ago. So this thing had been discussed and discussed and discussed amongst these disgusting people for weeks. They were planning this. They were preparing this. 20 people are in the Discord server. Maybe all of them knew about it. Tyler Robinson confessed to the Kirk assassination on Discord. Worth noting, Tyler Robinson is still non-compliant with FBI and the police. He is now in custody. He's sitting in a prison cell right now, or a jail cell, I guess, technically speaking. They're still building out the case. And so far, Tyler Robinson has refused to take credit for this assassination. He's maintaining his innocence when speaking to the FBI and the police. Well, this is where the story gets crazy, because it seems as if he actually confessed on his own private Discord server a couple hours before turning himself in, or getting turned in. We're going to break that down also. Hours before his arrest, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson told friends in a Discord chat, "Hey guys, I have bad news for all of you. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." here's my thought. Why would he be apologizing to these friends of his on a Discord server unless they were kind of involved? You know what I mean? You know, I've got friends that I talk to in Discord. I think most young people do. By the way, most people that use Discord are not insane. It's like generally sort of a gaming instant messaging platform. And so it's very common. I think that probably everybody in the country under the age of 30 uses Discord pretty much. I've been using Discord for 9 years, but I'm thinking it's like, why? Okay, so he just conducted an assassination. Why then would he go on this Discord server and apologize to his friends? Why? Unless they kind of knew, unless they were kind of involved in this to some degree. And that's what this FBI investigation is. They're peeling back the layers here. Who knew about it? I'm confident saying that 6 people knew about it, given that they were posting about this up to 5 weeks prior. Let's keep on reading. Tyler Robinson, later said in the Discord server, "I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you for everything." Very curious. The admission was sent about 2 hours before he was taken into custody. Now, we have a much longer write-up. I want to take a look at this here with you guys. I want to really peel back the layers here. So we're going to read through this entire thing. It might be a little bit redundant, but I want to know everything here. Yeah, there's more information here. Okay, folks, bear with me. And by the way, we haven't even gotten to the craziest part of this yet. There's some more bombshell stuff I want to share with you folks in about 10 minutes. Stand by, but we've got to, work through the order of operations here. The 22-year-old suspect in Charlie Kirk's killing appears to have confessed to a group of friends in an online chat shortly before turning himself in to law enforcement, according to 2 people familiar with the chat and screenshots obtained by the Washington Post. According to 2 people familiar with the chat. Now, this could be transgenders that were in the chat group themselves, or it could be FBI agents or police officers that have seen the chat personally. We don't know who these 2 people are. Robinson said, "Hey guys, I have bad news for all of you," said a message from an account belonging to the suspect Tyler Robinson in the online platform Discord. "It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." The message was sent Thursday night, about 2 hours before officials said Robinson had been taken into custody. A member of the group chat shared an image of the conversation with the Washington Post and confirmed that it came from Robinson's account. A member of the group chat. So, folks, what did I say yesterday? I guarantee you every single person in this Discord, all 20 of these transgenders in this Discord server, they are freaking out. They do not want to be involved in this. Tyler Robinson has been caught. His transsexual roommate, his lover that he was living with, is now working with the FBI. He's spilling the beans to the FBI. He's singing like a songbird. And so I guarantee you, everybody in this Discord server, they're freaking out. They do not want to be thrown under the bus or be held accountable for any of this. So all of them are looking to, sort of put together maybe kind of like a plea deal situation. Hey, I'm going to tell you everything I know, but I don't want to get in trouble, right? They're freaking out. And so we know that at least one of them here, a member of the group, shared an image of the conversation with this magazine, with this news website, the Washington Post. The person spoke on the condition of anonymity to protect their privacy and out of fear of harassment. The Discord conversation shared with the Post shows members of the group chat reacting to Kirk's shooting last week before the news broke that Robinson was allegedly involved. The group included about 30 people, so this article says 30 people, according to the person who provided the screenshots. Charlie Kirk got shot, one individual wrote on Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon, by the way. Yeah, that is September 10th. That's the day that Charlie got shot. So on the day of Charlie Kirk got shot, one of them said, Charlie Kirk got shot. Another one said, I just saw the video. Holy shit. Another user wrote about a half an hour later. adding of Kirk, said, "Bro didn't deserve to go out like that. Sad." The only response from Robinson's account came the next day with the message announcing, quote, "bad news." Now, I can't help but notice these screenshots that are being provided anonymously by a member of the group chat. All of them are very, what's the word? It's almost like they're expressing concern or sincerity for the death of Charlie Kirk. I'm wondering if the person in the group chat is selectively releasing only some screenshots and then not releasing the other ones. You know what I mean? To try to push a narrative, hey, I'm going to report these ones to the media, but not these other ones to the media. Not the image logs where we're all celebrating or whatever and cheering on the death of Charlie Kirk, sympathetic. I'm only going to release these ones that are a little bit sympathetic. Try to put a spin on the narrative here. We're going to keep reading here. Tyler Robinson went on to say, "I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments." The message posted at 7:57 p.m. local time in Utah. He went on to say, "Thanks for all the good times and the laughs. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything." This sounds a little bit gay. Can I just say that? I feel like that's just not really something that guys are saying. You've all been so amazing. At least not young guys on their Discord server with all of their gamer bros, with all their gamer friends. You've all been so amazing. Thank you all for everything. That sounds a little bit gay, which I guess lends to this, transgender. They're all transgenders in this Discord server. Okay. We're going to move on here. This is, I believe, a Fox News report corroborating what we're seeing here. Let's see what they had to say about this. This story just gets crazier and crazier.
All right, breaking right now, reports of a confession posted on Discord from Charlie Kirk's suspected assassin hours before, after the murder, but hours before his father turned him in to authorities in Utah. This is Washington.
So, by the way, I wanted to get my timeline right. The father began to suspect that his son was the assassin. The father called up or spoke to his minister, I believe. Anyway, his religious figure, I'm not sure if it was a bishop or a minister, his religious figure said, "Listen, I don't know what to do. I think my son is the killer. I need some guidance here." And so it's after that conversation with the religious, I think, minister, that then he decided to turn in his own son. And you can imagine the conflict, the anguish that's going on in the mind of the father, because this is about a day and a half after Charlie Kirk has been killed. The president and the governor of Utah have both called for the death sentence for the killer when he is found. The father turns in his own son, fully knowing that by doing so, his son is going to end up getting executed in all likelihood. The death sentence. Man, anguish. That is fatherly anguish, although that is the right thing to do. That's one of the toughest decisions a father can have to make, I would imagine. He did the right thing. Okay.
Post reporting on this at this point. Justice correspondent David Spunt joining me now live from Washington. Hi, David. What can you tell us?
Hi, Martha. About 2 hours before he was turned into authorities, this according to the Washington Post. We are working to independently confirm this as well. But the Washington Post says that Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect charged in Charlie Kirk's murder, confessed. And I want to read this according to the Washington Post, writing on Discord, that social media chat group that the FBI says he used, quote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." This coming from the Washington Post. Now, this comes as DOJ officials began late last week and over the weekend looking at the potential for at least one federal charge. No guarantee they'll get there. A department spokesperson declined comment, but a source familiar said investigators are not ruling anything out at this time.
Whether or not there are federal charges, as far as I understand it, Trump's DOJ, Pam Bondi, they are going to push federal charges. Whether or not that happens, it seems to me as if Utah State, the state, is going to be able to successfully push state level charges, which will result in the death sentence in all likelihood. Utah Governor Cox, he has said, yeah, we want the death sentence for this guy. Utah is a death penalty state. Now, by the way, tomorrow afternoon, I'm not sure exactly what time, but tomorrow, Tuesday, they are going to release the charges. They're going to have a big live broadcast. We will be here watching that together, by the way, folks, so come back for that. They're going to officially release the charges. They're going to let us all know what they are charging this kid with. They're going to release more information, as we're being told. So tomorrow is going to be a big day, a big information dump. So come back for that. But let's keep listening.
Especially his online gaming presence, his chats, as we just mentioned. Who was he talking to? What did he say? FBI Director Kash Patel said this earlier this morning. Watch.
He had a text message exchange, he, the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and he was going to do it because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for.
This investigation is just begun. This isn't even the beginning of the beginning. You know, yes, we have a subject in custody. You know, everybody's innocent until proven guilty in our constitutional republic. However, this is not done by any stretch.
Patel also batting down criticism from some even on the right about his handling of the probe. He put out a social media post hours after Kirk died saying that there was a subject in custody only to be released, and he addressed that, saying that he could have worded it a little bit better. Today at the FBI, history was made when former Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey became the co-deputy director along with Dan Bongino. When we asked what this means, all parties involved on the record say this is a positive move.
Okay, so by the way, as it would seem also, we got this information from Kash Patel and Dan Bongino earlier this morning. This was the topic of the video that I made a couple hours ago. It seems as if the shooter, the alleged shooter, Tyler Robinson, left a handwritten note on a piece of paper, left it for his gay transgender roommate / lover, and on this note, the message was something to the effect of, hey, I've got an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk. I'm going to do it. He left the note behind. The roommate found the note. The gay lover, transgender roommate found this paper note, read it, and then destroyed it. But there was still, I'm telling you what we have been told from the FBI, but that there was some remnant or proof of the note's existence. Imagine he tried to burn it or something and there was some remains of it. And so now we've been hearing for days that the roommate, this gay, transgender, furry roommate, lover, is now fully cooperating with the FBI and telling the FBI everything they want to know. So presumably this roommate told the FBI about the note also. But this entire situation is just nutso. We're going to keep going along here. This is Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon weighed in on this earlier today. We've got two Steve Bannon clips I want to share with you. This is the first one now. He says massive developments. It's going to be bigger than just one simple thing. Take a look.
It's Monday, 15 September in the year of our Lord 2025. Massive developments in the search for the assassin. And the biggest development, it's not just being treated as it has been by many of the law enforcement agencies as just a simple murder. It is not a simple murder.
No.
It is much deeper and more vast than that, including an entire network of terrorists, both domestic and international, probably with international financing. And that, as President Trump said, and the New York Post has a major story, we're now getting down to it. Of course, the prayer vigil last night, absolutely magnificent. I want to thank the Turning Point team for putting it on. It was incredible in 24 hours.
So this is where things currently stand. Now the FBI has reason to believe that potentially every single person in this Discord server, there's 20 of them, there's 30 of them, we don't know exactly how many, tens of them, are all a part of this radical far left transgender furry network of terrorists, and that potentially even they are receiving not only domestic funding, but also foreign outside money from outside the country coming in to make this stuff happen. I don't know. This entire situation is absolutely insane. Now, take a look at this. We're going back and talking about Discord here for a second. Discord, As you might remember, 4 days ago, Discord initially claimed that Charlie Kirk's assassin never used the platform to plan or to promote violence. Well, Judd Hoffman, Discord's vice president of trust and safety, said they had found, quote, no evidence that the suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord. This morning, however, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino confirmed there was a Discord with over 20 members, and new reporting has just revealed, that Tyler Robinson, the assassin, sent a final message to the group admitting his guilt and stating that he was turning himself in. This information came directly from Discord and was shared with law enforcement. The public demands accountability and transparency. Discord must be fully investigated for covering up and potentially attempting or to destroy evidence in a criminal investigation. Discord came out real fast. Discord is this instant messaging app. That's the logo here. They came out real fast within 24 hours, maybe 12 hours or so, and they said, "Oh, hey, we had nothing to do with this. We investigated ourselves, and we found no criminal wrongdoing or anything going on, anything fishy on our platform." Well, as it would turn out, there actually was some weird stuff going on this platform. Most certainly. And now the FBI is investigating that. We're going to keep reading here. Steve Bannon says the FBI should be kicking down doors. Listen, every single individual in this Discord server, they have an IP address. You can link that to where they are in the real world geographically. From the IP address, you can find their real world address, what house they live in what part of the country. We can go kick in the door and say, listen, what's going on? Who are you working for? Who are you involved with? To what degree did you know about Charlie Kirk's assassination? Yeah, we should be kicking down doors. Let's see what Steve Bannon had to say.
I believe you can go to Portland and declare martial law, at least in that 5 or 6 block area, and clean the whole mess out.
He should.
Arrest him today. As I said, the FBI should be kicking down doors this afternoon. I also don't understand, you've got this guy Cox out in Utah. I'll play a clip and I'll get to Cox after the next break. You got Cox in Utah, putting out the transgender love interest roommate whatever furry. He didn't know anything about it, but he's cooperating. Well, how do we know that? He should be rounded up and put under arrest right now.
I agree. I think it is incredibly preemptive to say that this transgender furry roommate did not know anything about this. I find that incredibly hard to believe. If he's cooperating with the FBI, that's great. Get as much information as you can. All right, great. But we got that narrative really early on, within hours of Tyler Robinson being apprehended. He has a roommate. The roommate is fully cooperating, and the roommate doesn't know anything. How do you know what he doesn't know? Within 6 hours or 8 hours, you were able to determine everything that this roommate knows and doesn't know? I don't know if I buy that. I want some more information here.
As a potential accessory before the fact or co-conspirator. These LGBTQ and furry sites that were all taken down instantly, got to go back to all those. It looks like appears some of those might even put up stuff before Charlie Kirk was there.
Oh, yeah, a lot of them were. Yes.
But they certainly knew about it almost instantaneously, and particularly his Discord chat group knew about it instantaneously after he shot it. He was kind of making jokes. Why are they not rolled up like the Boston Marathon bomber roommates? Remember the 4 or 5 guys that were the younger guys' roommates in college, and they knew immediately who it was? They saw that as soon as the videos came up, they said, hey, that's our roommate. They never informed police. Well, they got their doors kicked in a couple of days later, and I believe they all went to prison. In fact, I think one of these guys might have been killed in a shootout later.
Here's my deal, okay? Every single person in this Discord chat server, whether it's 20 or 25 or 30, however many it is, every single one of them needs to be brought into custody. Find where they live. If you need to subpoena Discord to get the IP address, do it. Geolocate them, apprehend them, bring them in. They are in custody until we figure out what the hell is going on. They're not free to leave. put them in a detainment facility, interrogate them, figure out, also apprehend all of their electronics, the hard drive, the computer, everything, the iPhone, the Android phone, all of it, the tablet, the iPad, whatever these guys have, you know, apprehend their Game Boy, whatever they have, and you got to go through the information on all of this stuff. And I know it's going to take time, but it seems like they haven't even started doing that. We got to get to the bottom of this. All of those people need to be thoroughly investigated, though. Matt Walsh chimes in a couple hours ago, earlier today. He says, Matt Walsh says, quote, a lot more evidence is about to come out proving the Charlie Kirk assassination was, quote, LGBT terrorism. As far as I'm concerned, the T now stands for terrorism. Used to be lesbian, gay, bi, transgender. Now it's lesbian, gay, bi, terrorist. That's how I look at this, because this entire situation is so insane. How many transgender shootings, mass shootings, school shootings, assassinations have to happen over the last couple of years? It's just time and time again to say, listen, we have, this is a terror, this is a national security threat that we have. Matt Walsh says trans activists were posting about the shooting before it happened. We know that. The evidence is overwhelming, and there is a lot more to come. Now, listen, I don't have any professional connections. I'm just a random guy on the internet, just like you guys, and I'm doing my web show. Matt Walsh, he is connected. He has got friends in high places. When Matt Walsh says this, I'm inclined to believe that he knows more stuff is coming out. And then I also remember tomorrow is Tuesday. We have all been publicly told already, we know this publicly, that on Tuesday, we're about to get a lot more information. They're going to file charges or release the charges publicly. They're going to drop an information bombshell, so to speak, on us and let us know what exactly is going on, all this crazy stuff. So tomorrow, like I said, I'm not sure exactly when this press release is going to be, or when the FBI is going to be talking to us. I don't know. But whenever it is, I'll figure it out whenever it is. We're gonna be here together covering that. We have another info drop here. Authorities have told Axios, which is a news website, that they believe the Charlie Kirk assassin, Tyler Robinson, was motivated by the belief that Charlie Kirk was spreading transphobic hate. This is per Axios. Investigators also told Axios they believe Robinson, despite being raised in a conservative family, had, quote, leftist ideals. Well, listen, let's think about Tyler Robinson's background here. He was raised in a conservative family up until he was 18 years old. He's 18, he graduates high school. Remember, we looked at his what was it, at his ACT scores. He was like a straight A student, 4.0 or a 3.9, great student in high school. He goes off to a nice university, I believe on a scholarship. He makes it one term, he makes it 3 months, and he drops out. He then starts attending a technical school for welding, at which point he starts going down this rabbit hole of this transgender, gay, furry community. He starts dating this transgender, gay, furry. He moves in with the transgender, gay, furry. So people say, he was raised in a conservative household. How did everything flip immediately? Well, it wasn't immediate. Listen, there was a 4-year window. He's 18 at the time he moves out of his parents' house, goes off to college, drops out, and then moves in with the transgender furry. And then he's 22 now when he assassinates Charlie Kirk. There's a 4-year window. It was electrical. There's a 4-year window during which his brain is getting twisted and corrupted by a lot of this sick, perverse, degenerate stuff. We heard one report that said that he was what did they call him? They called him a tranny chaser. He was a tranny chaser. That's a report. That's a report we got 2 days ago. What does that mean? That means his sexual fetish, his preoccupation sexually was trying to spark up relationships with trannies, with transsexuals, or whatever they're called. That was his thing. That was his guiding, his motivating factor. He was a chaser, is what they called him. Let's keep on reading here. JD Vance, I'm sure some of you guys here saw this. I want to go through some of the stuff with you guys. JD Vance actually took over Charlie Kirk's podcast on the TPUSA show, and JD Vance dropped a couple bombshells, and I want to go through this with you guys, really relating to what we know so far, but also where are we going? How are we going to move forward? Where are we going? What is the Trump administration going to do about this? We're going to hear from JD Vance. We're going to hear from Stephen Miller. I want you guys to take a look at some of this stuff. First off, here we go, talking about the dangers of left-wing extremism in the country. JD Vance.
Of course, we have to make sure that the killer is brought to justice. And importantly, we have to talk about this incredibly destructive movement of left-wing extremism that has grown up over the last few years.
Yeah.
And I believe is part of the reason why Charlie was killed by an assassin's bullet. We're going to talk about how to dismantle that and how to bring real unity that can only come when we tell the truth and everybody knows that they can speak their mind about the issues of the day without being cut down by a murderer's gun.
I like that he says that. Listen, everybody wants unity, but we all know we need to have an adult conversation here. We are not going to be able to have unity with people that want to kill us, with people that are happy to shoot us in the neck, right? With people that are more than eager to gun us down. Let's keep on playing. We have more clips from JD Vance. Take a look at this one.
People on the left are much likelier to defend and celebrate political violence. This is not a both sides problem. If both sides have a problem, one side has a much bigger and malignant problem, and that is the truth we must be told.
Wow.
That problem has terrible consequences. The leader of our party, Donald J. Trump, escaped an assassin's bullet by less than an inch. Our House Majority Leader, Stephen Scalise, came within seconds of death by an assassin himself. And now, the most influential conservative activist in generations, our friend Charlie, has been murdered. This violence, it doesn't come from nowhere. Now, any political movement, violent or not violent, is a collection of forces. It's like a pyramid that stacks on top, one support on top of the other. That pyramid's got a foundation of donors, of activists, of journalists, now of social media influencers, and of course of politicians. Not every member of that pyramid would commit a murder. In fact, over 99%, I'm sure, would not. But by celebrating that murder, apologizing for it, and emphasizing not Charlie's innocence, but the fact that he said things some didn't like, even to the point of lying about what he actually said, many of these people are creating an environment where things like this are inevitably going to happen.
On the left right now, you see an absolutely disgusting amount of, it's called whataboutism. We're talking about this. If you say, listen, my left-leaning coworker or my left-leaning friend or my left-leaning, whatever, classmate, whatever it is, this person that's on the left, you say, listen, I want you to disavow this killing. Can we at least agree to disavow political violence? A lot of them are doing this reflexive whataboutism. They say, yeah, well, what about this? Or what about that? Or what about this other time that somebody got shot? Or what about that? Listen, it's simple. We need to hold these people. We need to hold their feet to the fire here. Listen, cut the bullshit. Cut about the whataboutism. Let's talk about what we're talking about right now. Do you disavow political violence or not? Then after we agree that political violence is bad, then we can talk about whatever else you want. But right now, answer the damn question. Do you disavow this or not? And if they're playing games and trying to dodge the question and say, what about this or what about that? Listen, what does that mean? That means that they are totally complicit. They're totally fine with political violence by nature of them refusing to answer the question. Do you disavow or not? I see some super chats here. I want to play some super chats before we move on here. I see one that says, please share those names with the FBI. That's from Mary De Silva. The FBI has them. I know that they do. This is from Jen V. She says, I knew many people in the Muslim world who were openly celebrating 9/11, and in the instance, I agree Steve Bannon wholeheartedly. Listen, in America, we ought not celebrate political violence. This is what they do in the third world. In third world hellholes where murder is part and parcel, like if you live in Zimbabwe, maybe it's totally cool to celebrate political violence. We don't do that here. That's not how the country works. I see another one. Why didn't the FBI stop the assassination? This is from JC. I think the FBI is not omnipotent. I don't think anybody is. Stuff is going to slip through the cracks here. This is from Democracy Manifest. He says Transtifa is a terrorist organization. I think Antifa, you called it Transtifa, needs to be designated as such, as a terrorist organization. I think that should have happened 10 years ago. We all know what they've been doing and how they've been doing it. Yes, I agree with you. We have another one here. This is from Anthony Borden. Isn't it funny that you see no riots or cities burning? Well, you know what? Listen, all of us over here on the right, we are politically effective. We understand that burning down cities and destroying property, that's not an effective way to move or push or gain support for your political agenda, for your political ideology. This is something that a bunch of petulant, low IQ idiots do when they don't get their way. They burn down their city. You know what we're doing? We're putting together a plan to actually dismantle these far left radical terrorist, domestic terrorist organizations. That's what we're doing. We are actually dismantling it, not just having a toddler fit and burning down the city. That's a big difference here between the parties. I appreciate that. Thank you. Grandpa Barney says, hey, I'm 62 and I use it for my stock investment group. Grandpa is on Discord. Grandpa Barney is 62. He uses Discord. Listen, most people that use Discord, it's just like any program. It's like Photoshop. Some people can use it for bad stuff. Other people can use it for good stuff. There's a lot of crazy, just insane people that use Discord. It's true. You got to be careful. If you're a parent, you got to be careful what type of Discord communities your children or your young adults are hanging out in. You really do. Okay, I'm gonna keep going here for a minute. JD Vance just revealed that a radical leftist woman screamed in the face of his 5-year-old child. Take a look at this. I don't know.
A couple of months ago, I headlined a fundraiser in Southern California, and since we'd be out there anyways, my wife and I decided to take our kids to Disneyland one weekend. We had fun, and to be clear, most of the guests said very nice things, or they just left us alone. But there was a loud and very vocal minority that would shout at my children, who were 8, 5, and 3, whenever they got the opportunity. You should disown your dad, you little shit, one middle-aged woman yelled at my 5-year-old. Tell the Secret Service to protect the Constitution, not your father, screamed another. Are these women violent? Probably not. Are they deranged? Certainly. And while our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
True. Yes.
After Charlie died, one of his friends and one of our senior White House staffers had left-leaning operatives in his neighborhood passing out leaflets telling people what he looked like and where he lived, encouraging neighbors to harass him or, God forbid, to do worse. While he was mourning his dead friend, he and his wife had to worry about the political terrorists drawing a big target on the home he shares with his young children.
I think there are a lot of conservative Americans right now in the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk assassination that are keeping their pistol, keeping their shotgun a little bit closer than they normally do, because you don't know when some crazy, unhinged, radical leftist is going to start trying to do something unthinkable, God forbid. I know I'm not the only one.
Are these people violent? I hope not. But are they guilty of encouraging violence? You damn well better believe it.
And that is absolutely true. While the extreme minority of people on the far left are actually engaging in violence, a lot of people on the far left are responsible for hand-waving it or justifying it or encouraging it, even celebrating it, we have seen. Some more super chats. Tosley, sending you and your family lots of love, Matt. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you. Back at you. That's what we're talking about. Thank you. Thank you very much. They were saying we are using cancel culture while they use assassination culture. We are not the same. Listen, there is a difference. They are guilty of cancel culture for a long time. This year, this is consequence culture. They were trying to get us fired from our jobs for, refusing to deny reality, for saying that, hey, I'm not going along with this transgender ideology. Hey, maybe I want to wait a while and see what happens with the COVID vaccine, stuff like that. They were having us kicked out of our jobs and kicked out of the military for just basic, incompetent, benign stuff like that. Now, what's happening is we are getting them fired for celebrating political assassinations. Totally different scope of what is going on and why it is happening. completely incomparable, the level, the magnitude here. And like we said this before, listen, they are at the point where they are shooting us in the neck. They are at the point where they are carrying out and celebrating political assassinations. We are at the point where we are trying to get them fired for celebrating these political assassinations. The dynamic is a little bit different. Let's acknowledge that. Okay? There's another one here I want to show you. This is Stephen Miller, who gets a little bit choked up. He was good friends for 10 years with Charlie Kirk. Take a look at this one.
I've known Charlie for 10 years. He was a treasured friend. And, you know, this is going to sound, he made you believe more in yourself, is the best way I could put that.
That's right.
He was your biggest cheerleader. He would, if I was working on a hard project, an important executive order, a major new initiative, he would give me the strength and the focus to get it done.
That's right.
He was everybody's supporter, enthusiast, cheerleader, promoter. He made all of us better every single day. You know, the memory that I keep turning to is not a single memory. It's a period of a couple months after we won the election. And Charlie was in the campaign or the transition office every single day. And from dawn till dusk, volunteering his time to get into the weeds, the nitty-gritty of government. And he was so damn excited. I mean, it really hurts to think about it right now.
This guy, Charlie Kirk, probably would have been a president at some point. Could have been 10 years, could have been 15, 30, could have been 40 years. I don't know. He's a young guy. He's 31. Who knows? Someday, yeah, that was probably going to happen.
He was so excited about all of us being here. And we would be talking about every executive order, every new regulation, every new policy plan. It was such a thrill for me to get to spend a few months of my life, because, you know, he came from the nonprofit, the activist world. I came from the government world. And in this transition, to be able to work hand in hand, take all of his ideas from being the leader of TPUSA, spending time with college students, spending time with activists.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely a great person was lost. But what happens next, this is where Stephen Miller goes nuclear on the violent far-left radicals. First, I want to say we have a super chat here from Henceforth. He says, I'm surprised FBI hasn't get into Discord HQ and confiscated all their data. They would find so many BLM, Antifa terrorists and other murderers like Robinson and so many furry pedophiles. I'll tell you what, you know, a lot of people use Discord. Millions, tens of millions of people around the world use Discord. Even if just 0.01% of people that use Discord are engaging in some of this just insane, disgusting behavior, still, that's thousands or tens of thousands of people. That's a problem. Okay. Yeah, maybe Discord does need to be audited. Discord is an instant messaging application that is sort of the favorite stomping ground, so to speak, of some of these freaks. It's true. It's undeniable. Now, take a look. By the way, thank you, Henceforth. This is Stephen Miller. He lets it rip into the far left radicals.
Walk me through, at a high level, like what you and I have been working on, what the whole administration has been working on to try to make sure that we don't reward and promote this craziness.
Okay, here we go.
So it's an excellent question. I said this before, and but it bears repeating. The last message that Charlie sent me was, I think it was just the day before we lost him, which is that we need to have an organized strategy to go after the left-wing organizations that are promoting violence in this country. And I will write those words onto my heart, and I will carry them out. If people ask me, you know, what emotions I'm feeling right now, this is something people say. I mean, you kind of know the answer. There's incredible sadness, but there's incredible anger. And the thing about anger is that unfocused anger or blind rage is not a productive emotion.
Right.
But focused anger, righteous anger, directed for a just cause is one of the most important agents of change in human history.
You folks need to get comfortable with being angry at these people, but harnessing that anger in a productive outlet. I'm so happy he said this, because this is actually something I find myself doing all the time. You know, listen, how can I not be angry on a day-to-day basis? I'm covering every day. It's my job. I'm covering everything that these far left radical freaks are doing. That's all I talk about. I'm following the news and seeing what these people are doing, but it's important to channel that anger and that frustration and the rage, all the damage that they are causing to the country, the damage they are causing to all of us everyday Americans. Channel that in a productive way so that you can actually accomplish something and not just, you know, rage out and get nothing done. I like that.
Charlie showed that. Amen.
And we are going to channel all of the anger that we have over the organized campaign that led to this assassination to uproot and dismantle these terrorist networks. So let me explain a little bit what that means. So,
got 30 seconds, so be quick, Stephen.
The organized doxing campaigns, the organized riots, the organized street violence, the organized campaigns of dehumanization, vilification, posting people's addresses, combining that with messaging that's designed to trigger and incite violence, and the actual organized cells that carry out and facilitate the violence, it is a vast domestic terror movement. And with God as my witness, we are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks and make America safe again for the American people. It will happen, and we will do it in Charlie's name.
There you go. That is what I want to hear. Now, this is my opinion here. I don't know. You call me a radical, whatever you want. Personally, I think every single American citizen in this country that has been celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, cheering in the name of political violence, of political assassinations, and especially the people that have been explicitly calling for more violence, as far as I'm concerned, these people are domestic terrorists as well. If we need to arrest and put in prison and criminally try 10,000 people or 100,000 people, I don't know how many people are doing this across the country, promoting this type of violence. You know what? Put them in a prison cell. You want to talk about the prison industrial complex? You know what? I'd rather have these people be locked up. These people that celebrate the gunning down of a young father because he had the audacity to disagree with them politically. Listen, as these people are a danger to society. This is a national security threat. We know that it is. We've seen them engage in this type of behavior time and time again. If it's 10,000 people, 50,000 people, I don't want to be walking the streets with my kids while these people are roaming in society. I don't want my kids to go to school with these people or to be educated by these people. If I go to the hospital, I don't want the nurse or the doctor to be one of these people. This is a problem. Okay, imagine you need to go to the hospital. God forbid you have an emergency. Your life is on the line. And your doctor a couple months ago was celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Is that the doctor you want at the hospital treating you, taking care of you? No. Or educating your children, or educating your 19-year-old daughter when she goes off to university, or sitting next to your daughter on a subway train. God forbid. We all know how that goes. God forbid. Okay, yes, this is a problem. This behavior needs to be stopped. These people need to be held accountable. The reason why they are behaving like this is because they have gotten away with it so long. They need to be exiled from society. They have gotten so used to acting with complete and total impunity that we are at a point where these people are uploading videos of themselves celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk and calling for more violence on TikTok, in TikTok videos where they're not even concealing their face. You can see them. They are identifiable. They're not even trying to be anonymous. They are celebrating this death, this bloodshed, and they're not even ashamed of it. It's totally brazen. It's a total mask-off moment. I guess I was delusional. I guess I was ignorant. I had no idea that we had this many people in our country that were proponents of political violence. I thought maybe we had some people, but it's like tens of thousands of these people, maybe hundreds of thousands. What are we to do? Stephen Miller and the Trump administration seems like they have a plan. I hope they need to have a plan. They need to have a plan. We have a super chat here. No, I got that one. Okay, no, we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a wrap up for this show. We know for a fact there were 20 to 30 transgender individuals in this Discord. There might be foreign money involved. domestic money paying these people to carry out the attack. God knows how many of this, members of this Discord community were a part of this. We know at least 6 of them knew about this beforehand. Tomorrow is going to be a massive day. We are getting the press conference. We're getting the charges publicly released. We're going to know, I think we're going to know pretty much everything that the FBI knows, because they're going to be cluing us in. So tomorrow is a big day. Make sure to come back. Subscribe here, Matt Morse TV on YouTube. We're on Rumble, Matt Morse TV. Like and subscribe. We are on Twitter, Matt Morse TV on Twitter. Everybody drop a follow there, and we will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when that is taking place, but I'll be here for it, and I hope you guys show up. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. We are getting to the bottom of this. We need to hold these far-left violent radicals accountable for their behavior, and more importantly, we need to make sure that it never happens again. In the name, in honor of Charlie Kirk, we cannot let this happen again. So that's what we're doing here. That's why we're here. Thank you all. I'll see you folks tomorrow. Everybody have a good night, as good of a night as you can possibly have given the circumstances. Have a good morning, and I'll see you all tomorrow afternoon. So everybody take care, and thank you for tuning in.